tell me where in the world is
Crime in San Diego.
Welcome back to Where in the World is Crime in San Diego.
This is our What in the World Wednesdays, our third episode.
I love doing these. Honestly, seeing things, crime happening around the world, that's, a lot more lighthearted than our typical episodes. So I have two stories to talk to you about, and they're really funny. I'm just like,
darn, I only picked one, but there was so many to choose from. I could honestly spend hours looking this stuff up.
Totally. So I'll go first.
Okay.
So mine takes place in Australia, in Melbourne. So we have a would-be thief that broke into a bakery. Now, he went in there to solve all of his troubles, trying to find like money, but he traps himself in the storeroom. So like I'm assuming like the where all the dry goods and like he locks himself in there. He can't get out. So what he ends up doing is that he stacks containers, chairs, bins to try to climb out through the roof or through the ceiling. Okay. Now all of this is captured on the security camera, the CCTV.
My God.
So you can see him literally just stacking everything, right? So it's like, okay, like
trying to reenact the James Bond movie.
Yeah. So for about 30 minutes, he's attempting to, get out. During those 30 minutes, he crashes to the ground approximately 5 times.
Oh my God. It's like America's Funniest Videos live.
It's like an episode of Jackass. Like, it's like, boop, just fall over. It's like, oh my gosh. So after the 30 minutes, he eventually frees himself and he turns himself in to the authorities. And it's like,
it's the first smart move he's probably made all day.
And it's like, oh my gosh. But just seeing this whole like play out is very comical.
Do you have the video?
I could try seeing if I can find it. I wasn't able to, but I have to dig a little more deeper, like Mama Oli. So,
but the mental visual is what we're
is the mental visual. Like I can picture it in my head and just boop, 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 just falling over and over again. It's hilarious. So what did you got?
So mine's interesting. It has a little bit of history to it.
Really? All right.
So we're going to meet Bonnie Goosh, and she lives in Missouri. She is a 78-year-old sweet woman who enjoys a drink every now and then. And she decided to rob a bank for the third time. Or at least third attempt, I should say.
Okay.
And in the note, it reads, "I don't mean to scare you," which obviously is like a great start. And then she goes on to ask for $13,000 in small bills. And she even makes sure to end with a nice thank you.
Huh. So she goes up to the teller and was like, she demands $13,000 in small bills.
No, well, she slides over the note.
Oh,
But the note starts with, "I don't mean to scare you," which is always a great start. I've worked at a bank before, and it's whenever you get a note, you're already automatically like on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's 78 years old. And then she's polite enough to say thank you and then demand exactly how she wants it. So $13,000 in small bills, which doesn't exist in a bank. They don't have that kind of money. So then they eventually find her in a veteran's office parking lot, or veterinarian's office, sorry. And she's just sitting in her car. And like when cops come up to her, she's kind of like, "Oh, hi," like very calm, very chill. And this actually happened on my birthday, April 5th of this year. So this is like a very recent event.
This is like 2 weeks ago.
She strongly smelled of alcohol. And when they realized this was her third attempt in the same area. And I guess the first two didn't report it because they didn't like take her seriously.
Uh-huh.
So this was the first one that got reported as a bank robbery. But then as they dug into her past, they realized that she had one case in California in 1977 of a bank robbery. And then she had another one in Kansas City in 2020.
Wow.
And then for this most recent one, she was placed on a $25,000 bail bond, which she didn't meet. And she's just in custody waiting for her hearing. But I just thought it was so funny that like, even at that age, you're like, you know what? I still got it. I'm going to try my hand at this. But still have the manners to be like, please, thank you, sorry. And can you do it quickly?
That is fantastic.
I was just like, what? I mean,
what in the world?
yeah.
For sure.
Seriously.
Oh man. My next one is a little bit of a doozy too.
Ooh.
So this takes place in Brazil. Brazil already is like, there's high crime rates there. But still travel. It's a safe place, right? To travel to Brazil, even though with all the bad things that you can hear from there. So we have two burglars who are, they're running away from authorities in an apartment building. Okay. And they were disturbed by the police. They're trying to get away and they jump out of the window, but they were in the process, they were running away because they were stealing jewelry from this apartment complex. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now the officers then picked up the two burglars that were like acting suspiciously, and they matched the description of the suspects. So they took them to the custody, and while in custody, one of the two men becomes very ill, complaining about not feeling good. His intestines, his stomach hurts, and whatnot. And then he needed like medical treatment. So they took him to the hospital. They did X-rays on the suspect. And while they did the investigating of the X-rays, they were
I think I know where this is going.
they were able to find the problem. They were able to find there was 2 rings, a pendant, and a necklace in the X-ray. He swallowed the jewelry.
He swallowed the evidence.
He swallowed the evidence. He swallowed the goods. And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so we got to wheel you over to surgery so we can get this stuff out of you. So, because people think that when you consume gold, that you'll poop it out. Yes, but the thing is that gold is a metal, and there's things on there that could seriously cause you harm. So you could potentially even die.
Things are not always what they seem in the movies. I just feel like that disclaimer just needs to go like worldwide.
Yeah, and then on top of that, there's people that consume like coins and currency.
Yeah.
To the point where they die. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like my daughter one time when she was 1, before she was 1, she swallowed a penny, and a couple days later she pooped it out.
So she literally crapped money.
Yeah. And then the very, like, I guess the cherry on top is that after the surgery and they were able to safely remove everything, the owner of the jewelry was able to identify that it was his, property. So these two criminals.
I don't think I'd want it back at that point. It's like, even if it's sterile, I'm good.
Yeah, it is like, it's been where no jewelry should never be before. Like,
yeah.
It's like,
he wore it in the wrong spot.
Wow. But it's like, what in the world is, like, what were you thinking?
That's insane.
That was like, wow. The lengths that some criminals will take, it is insane. But this is just it's comedy. It's like, all right.
Yeah, it's shocking, but it also makes you feel like you're way smarter than like half the population when you're reading these.
I agree.
It's a really good pick me up for me, at least. Like, it's a morale booster to be like, well, I've never had to go through that.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, definitely. If you guys have any what in the worlds that you want to send our way, reach us out on our social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook. We have Google Form. We have our YouTube. Yeah, because it's just hearing.
I'm sure there's so many more out there that we're not getting. Like, we're just scraping the surface of these sources, and there's already like a plethora of stuff.
Totally, yes.
But if you guys see something like, oh my God, they have to know, like, send it our way, please.
Yes, we would love it. We would love it for sure. So, yes, tune in on our episodes, which we drop them on
Mondays.
Yes. And yeah.
All right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye-bye.
Tell me, where in the world is
Crime in San Diego.